And you talked about this being a statewide program. Very, very important. In fact, we have a graphic of a map showing all the locations that you have across the state. If you could talk to us about those specific areas.
Thanks, Kathy. Now, while we do encourage folks who are new callers to our services to call our toll-free numbers, we do have offices conveniently located throughout the state. We're as far west as Scottsbluff, we're in North Platte, we're in Grand Island, we're up in Norfolk, we're in Lincoln, Omaha, and Bancroft. So we really do try to cover most of the state geographically. And for areas that we're not specifically located in, we contract with private attorneys who agree to take cases at a low-cost basis that we pay for. The client never has to pay, but we pay for it out of our funding. And those attorneys, again, are taking these cases at reduced cost, probably 1/2 to 1/3 of the normal hourly rate they would charge, and they will take cases for us. So we have private attorneys in Dodge County, but also as far away as Cherry County and in other parts of the state where our offices are not located.
Okay, and Stephen, you are one of those attorneys.
I am.
Talk to us about your role with the organization.
Essentially what happens is Legal Aid will give me a call and they'll say a short description of what the client needs and whether I'm interested in taking it or not. So far over the last 6 years I've built a pretty good relationship with them that I'll take pretty much whatever they throw my way, because these people, the best thing about Legal Aid for a private attorney is that the client is screened, and they're screened so that the most abused individuals or the people that really need the help most desperately will filter through as quickly as possible. Not to say that anybody won't filter through, but the ones that are in desperate need of overnight stuff, things, protection order hearings, or even having to have it filed, or they need to get out of the house right away and they need to get away from their husband or their, I'm generalizing their husband, but generally the people who are most in need will have priority, and he can attest to that, I believe. Dave will say that those people with priority are in danger, basically, and if I can help them, that's what I do. You get a pretty good feeling as a private attorney doing these things for these individuals because they are at that need. They've already been pre-screened. You know that it's not just someone who's making up something. What I would do then is they send me the information, I meet with the client, and we start the process for them. It's really very simple, but I do know that when they come in the door, they're already pre-screened, they're already in desperate need of help, and they don't have the financial resources for that help. And just because they're in a smaller community like Fremont or even Washington County or Saunders County, and I think I've even gone to Colfax and Butler County as well, that they are going to get some representation because they're in that desperate need of it.
Okay, and Stephen, for those attorneys that are watching who are not part of this network,
Sure.
Talk to us about how you connected with them. Talk about that process in the event that someone watching would be interested in joining the team.
At that time, I think they actually cold called me and said, I have an individual that would you help with? And I said, well, I'm not so sure. And they said, well, we can pay you not much, but we can pay you something, which was fine. And I figured, what the heck, the Bar Association not requires, but suggests that attorneys do give a lot of pro bono hours out if they can, in support of the community and support of the Bar Association standing to try to do that pro bono work. And so this is a kind of a partial way to do that, but with the same token, you're getting individuals that are desperately in need. And with doing that, it is a little selfish on my part because you get a good feeling when you help out those people who are in that desperate situations. I've seen individuals who are beaten, abused, emotionally abused. Just someone, you know, I've done probably, I think, 60 cases for Legal Aid, and it ranges everywhere from just the constant verbal abuse of, gee, you're worth nothing, you're useless, to the severe cases where children are abused, or their wife is abused, or I have had a couple individuals where it has been the male, so I'm generalizing there, but the individuals, when they come to you, you get a good feeling at the end of it because they need out because of the danger situation. And so when the other attorneys see this program, I think they could probably call up and probably get pre-screened with Legal Aid to make sure that, one, they probably have the qualifications to competently handle the clients that are going to be coming their way, because it is high intensity dealing with that. The one thing I would tell the private attorneys out there, if they're thinking about taking these types of cases, is that not only are they pre-qualified, they're pre-screened, you do get paid something, but the process that you go through is that legal aid will let you do the case the way you want. Now you have to report to them to let them know what you're doing to make sure that everything is copacetic, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot of overbearing control over what you're doing. So you can continue to help the client and feel good about going forward as though they're your client and you have that relationship with the client. But the good thing about another good thing about it is that these cases they're good cases because, and what I mean, well, the other attorneys out there, when they hear this, they're going to say, well, it's good case because there's good facts. You have an individual who's been abused and who's in a severe situation, and they have all these facts that really stack up against the other party. So nobody wants to take a case they're going to lose, but when you get this type of case, it's usually really good cases because you can go in, you know you've got a good chance of just hammering home a good win and helping that client get away.
Okay. Yeah, Stephen, this is really serious, and you've alluded to several instances. This is serious stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
These are people who are in a very difficult circumstance with very limited means, with big hearts, obviously, and you're wanting to do the right thing.
Sure.
You've handled a lot of cases, as David said. I mean, how do you go in day after day to meet these challenges? I know there are victories, but what really does keep you going with this?
That's one that's hard to explain. I mean, I will never pretend to understand what they're going through, and I don't pretend to. I can try to help them move forward with their life, but it's their life. And if they're in that dangerous situation, if I can help, I need to. As far as the other aspects of it go, one of the very first cases I ever had for legal aid actually turned into a trial, which was great. It was fun, and I shouldn't say that. It was fun for me. It wasn't fun for the clients because that's, as a litigator, you want to go to court. But that client is still a client of mine today. As a matter of fact, I still have her as a client and help her out when she had a personal injury case, and so I still have that relationship with her and have that relationship with pretty much all my clients. 'Cause the ones that moved out of state obviously aren't as close, but it's all more about the feel-good thing, and I hate to say it that way because it makes me sound kind of selfish in that I feel good when I help them help themselves.
When you first got into law, were you thinking this was the path that you were going to take?
Not in a million years.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't know what I was getting into when I went to law school.
But this not where you thought you were going to wind up?
No, it's not where I thought I'd be, but I can tell you that being a lawyer is the best job I've ever had, and it's the best thing that ever could have happened to me.